Hey friends, it's Eric McKenna at Boogie Street Guitars in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. How are you? Before I begin with the PS14 announcement, I've received so many positive comments from so many of you people since last week when Freddie Cuello and I had the white and black Orion Starfire PS14 on camera. A lot of you asked pricing, a lot of you asked availability, the time frame, what's going to be included and so forth, and you've all been patient and I appreciate that. I've asked everybody just to bear with me. The reason for the delay was I was wrapping up a couple issues on pricing. I had a target that I wanted to be at pricing wise and we made it. But I also had to check and see when the silver and black Orion was going to land here, and it has. So all of the pieces of the puzzle are in place, and today we're going to announce the guitar officially and how you can get yours. As many of you know, as a very brief background, I've worked with Paul since 2006, and we've done Preachers and Cracked Mirrors and V's. We've done a bunch of really cool guitars, both on the import side of the business, which I actually get the most fun with, believe it or not, and the U.S. custom side for the high-end collectors. The Starfire is probably the coolest design Paul's had, and it's definitely been the best received guitar of his career with Washburn. I really wanted to do something special with the Starfire, but because of the unique construction and so forth, we were limited as to what we could do. We couldn't do the cracked mirror, and we couldn't do the obviously we couldn't do flame tops on a broad basis. There wasn't any binding on the body. We couldn't do the rhinestone. So I got together with Fran Stuber. As many of you know, Fran has been Paul's longtime guitar tech and personal assistant. Fran's one of the best guitar techs, along with Freddie Cuello in the business. I mean, how lucky am I to have these two guys in the Boogie Street stable for projects? I mean, but I got together with Fran and we just kind of racked our heads, and I have to give him the nod. I mean, the idea of putting the large strike down the center of the guitar, as simplistic as that sounds, really set the guitar off, and the Orion was born. We did it on the import side initially on our plans, but we thought it'd be fantastic if the Washburn Custom Shop would get a couple cranked out real quick for Paul and get them out on stage with the Monster Tour, which is what we did last year, and the rest is history, or history as they say. Very proud of the guitar. So when we went back to the drawing board to say, well, we've done the USA Custom Shop Orion Starfires, how are we going to make the import a step above the PS12 and just make it really, really cool? And Fran was insistent upon a couple things which I had to agree with. He said, look, let's make this guitar like the USA in every regard. I mean, let's really challenge this factory to take this Orion Starfire that the USA Custom Shop's making, and let's see how close to the original they can come for a fraction of the price. And I mean a fraction of the price, which you'll see in a second here. So in the process of doing import guitars, as many of you that know me and know of Boogie Street and know a little bit about how we do it, it often is a process. And you know, my great work with Nick Ellingsworth at Washburn over these years, and prior to him, Matt Cantlin and Steve Bennett, the process involves prototypes, getting guitars back and forth and taking changes and rearranging things. And here we were lucky, and we were lucky because the PS12 import is such a great guitar. It was about 95% there, you know, and Fran looked at it, and Paul looked at it. It was about 95% where we thought we could go with the PS14 to make it the finest import Starfire guitar possible. So Fran certainly came up with the idea of making the neck profile on the import like the USA, getting the headstock pitch and the tilt correct, putting the stripe down the center of it, ensuring that there's Seymour Duncan humbuckers and USA wiring in the guitar, making the pickguard as close to the USA as possible, having a really outstanding ebony fingerboard. I mean, even taking the PS12, as good as they are, elevating that process, getting really good ebony on there, getting it stained right, you know, getting the right inlay. Everything had to be taken up a notch, and still at the same time I had a ceiling that I wanted to be with this guitar. I just didn't want to go over this ceiling, and I wanted to really challenge the factory to do all of these things. Well, special thanks to Fran, special thanks to Nick Ellingsworth, everyone involved in the project. I think we really did it. I think we really did it. So I'm here to announce today the pricing and so forth, but before I do, hopefully this will show up on camera. This is the Silver Sparkle Silver Sparkle and Black ORION PS14 Import Starfire. This is Paul's Starfire at an affordable price point that will still take any stage anywhere. I am confident I could hand this guitar to Paul right now, have him take it on stage, wouldn't miss a beat. It competes with the USA product like you can't believe. And I know in some circles that might not be the popular thing to say, but I can't lie to you. I gotta tell you the truth, and the truth is we worked hard to make this thing as close to the USA as we possibly could. And this factory overseas in Indo, this fantastic factory, just continues to deliver, and they really stepped up their game and they just knocked it out of the park. So without further ado, this is it. This is the Silver and Black ORION, the most famous. Paul will have a black and white in his stable for this upcoming tour as well. So there'll be 30 pieces here of the PS14 black and silver, and 30 pieces available in the black and white here. This will be the first run. The pricing on these guitars is $995 for the guitar, the gig bag, the Boogie Street t-shirt, the Boogie Street hat, the very large Washburn Paul Stanley Live to Win era dealer banner. We're going to include that, and there will be a letter of authenticity signed by yours truly and also signed by Fran Stuber, Paul's longtime guitar tech. Very happy that Fran has lent his signature to this project, not just in terms of interpretation, but he's validated his involvement by actually signing, which is just, I'm personally humbled, and I appreciate that. Again, shipping for the guitar for domestic customers, that means the continental USA, is $35. Our Canadian friends and Canadian customers, we can get these guitars to you for $45 shipping. International customers, the shipping charge is $175. We also have one other option in this project, and that is that we have availability of a form-fitted hard shell case, the same case used in the USA Custom Shop guitars. We have these cases available in a limited amount. They are an additional $175. To our international customers, we're not requiring that you buy a hard shell case, although we are strongly recommending, because the guitar is going to be in transit for 3-5 days and see considerable handling, we would encourage you to consider protecting your investment here and protecting your PS1400 by acquiring a hard shell case as well. The guitar will be available online at boogiestreet.com, and we will have plenty of links and pictures and this video on our Facebook pages, because many of you know us through Facebook. That's how you connected with us. I can be reached through Facebook. Our phone number here at the Boogie Street office is 412-254-3150. By all means, you can email me at Eric, E-R-I-C, at boogiestreet.com or boogiestreetguitars@gmail.com. Lots of ways to get a hold of us. The portal to buy the guitar will be straight through boogiestreet.com. We may or may not use an eBay offering as well. It's going to depend on how fast these go. Again, there's 30 in silver and black and 30 in white. A note about the certificate or the letter of authenticity, we just chose not to number these guitars. So there's no 1 through 30, 2 through 30, none of that. There is only 30 pieces, and the certificate will identify that you own one of the 30 guitars. We did this, we didn't think that it was going to detract the collectability, and we did it because we wanted to get the guitar to the customer in a very expedient manner. It didn't require Boogie Street getting them all in at one time. We were able to do some arrangements with Washburn that we'll be able to drop ship if necessary. If we run through our initial shipment here and customer demand is strong enough, the kind of folks at Washburn will work with us to get the guitar shipped immediately to the customer, which means that you may get a small package from us with your t-shirts and your letter of authenticity and so forth, and your shipment from Washburn. But regardless, all of it will arrive to you. That you have my guarantee. And again, it's $9.95, $35 for shipping, $45 for shipping for our Canadian customers, and $175 for international. There it is, folks. It's the Washburn Paul Stanley ORION Starfire PS14. It's the affordable Paul Stanley collectible that is every bit as good, is every bit sonically ready to take the stage, just like Paul's USA's, but for a fraction of the price. And quite frankly, it's about a quarter of the price of the USA Custom. You've asked for it, you wanted an affordable Starfire, but you wanted something special, and you also asked us to make it as good as possible, and with all the appointments and all the great features that make the USA Custom what it is. Here it is, folks. Paul Stanley PS14 available exclusively through Boogie Street Guitars. You can reach me again, Eric at boogiestreet.com, or check us out on Facebook and order directly through our website, www.boogiestreet.com. As always, my friends, thanks for your time, and let's find these beautiful guitars homes.